also not screen sharing.
God dang it, I knew I was going to forget something. Last time it was promoing in my own heckin' Discord. This time it's the screen share. What's next?
My bonus action.
No, see, I can't forget your bonus action. You forget mine. No, you just forget that you have the D8 inspiration.
Yeah. I had a lot of things to keep track of.
I mean, to be fair, with the role that you had on the wizard, you didn't need much help.
Yeah.
I will say though, that shield has gotten me out of way more than I expected it to. That 2 AC.
Yeah. It is why I had those party buffs lists for, made how it was for a reason.
I can.
So I'm like, what are good things that are positive, but they're not busted, that they won't sway it completely in your favor if you get it.
Yeah, unfortunately, you didn't work for the giant mech that you had.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because it's like, all right, cool. Let's just give the +2 AC to the mech that has 20 AC and make it unhittable for everyone that's not near the Ranger. And even then, I think it was still a struggle. Am I live?
Yeah.
Okay. Just the ad thing wasn't going, so I was very confused when I looked over and saw it was going. I haven't missed anything in chat, have I? That's a fair one.
No.
So we stopped in the ruin because basically directly after this goes to okay. I want to see if I can zoom. I can't. But basically, like, directly once we hit the town, we get straight.
The Hell Guard.
Oh, I didn't even look at the name. I thought we'd seen them already.
Nope. We have not seen this version of that lantern boy.
Okay, he's defending. I was like, why is he not taking as much damage? Then it got to his turn. Didn't matter.
That's definitely weird. Enemies defending.
It happens occasionally, but they're very specific enemies.
Yeah.
They're very, very specific enemies. What's even rarer is there's... I don't know if the little goblins in 11 did it. I haven't fought them that much on my current playthrough. They don't show up that much. But I know in Dragon Quest IX, there's like an axolotl warrior, and what they will do is they there's that counter stance ability.
Yeah.
They use that a lot. So they'll, and then they have goblins with giant shields. That, like, and this is all really early games, so it makes it extra annoying because you don't have anything to deal with it. Mm-hmm. But goblins will defend. They have the counter stance. The axolotls will defend. They have the counter stance. Like this, it's very, very kind of frustrating, but they don't do a lot of damage. Now that weird ship, this village curse. They literally made sure you could not miss this. Probably can't get past her until you talk to her. Big ship. Okay.
It'd be a shame if we could see it.
The pillar of light beckoning from the harbor. Yeah, it'd be a shame if we could see it. Following a beam of light, and then it simply froze in place. Do we still have our ship?
Yeah.
It would be in the cove, I think. I know we have a minute left on the ads. Like, I don't... If I can go that way. I hope it's here. It's assuredly not, but...
It's fine. We have Skyrock.
Maybe. I don't even think it's on this map. Yeah, that would explain why it's built for battle, so...
Yeah. Cat's chilling in the back there.
Okay. Okay. That's so much text. Curious as to who or what is on that boat. Alright, here we go. Talk to someone down here. Counting on you in case of emergency. This is already an emergency.
Yep.
Still like that picture I sent you earlier. It's the picture of the burning crayon. It's like, in an emergency, a crayon will burn for 30 minutes. How long if it's not an emergency?
Yeah.
I don't like that the path is on fire. Speaking of. Get up close and throw the rope. Hell of an arm.
You rip.
Wow.
Gomu Gomu no ladder.
How dare you attack us like that? What a dick! You idiots! And when can monsters climb ropes?
We're sitting here.
Our guys led our navy for over 2 years. The great marauders are going to search our kingdom well, just as you have predicted. But now how many monsters it kills, they'll come back again tenfold. I've already done this. Should be able to set sail. So much dialogue. And I'm like, again,
Yep.
this is like one of those things, like, they expect you to remember stuff that happened like 20 islands ago, but this thing that happened relatively recently, they're giving us the whole flashback again.
Yeah. Play through all this dialogue with a special filter on it.
Okay, here we go. Okay. Longer distance. Stand there, send everyone but the fighters back to their cabins. We're gonna help find the monsters even if you try and stop us. The goddess of victory has not favored us in this battle. Your darkest powers are unfathomable, but none shall die in vain. Your help to save Coastal as many other people as possible. Got the Aqua Spirit protecting us. Let's finish off the monsters. There's a sea of monsters. I can't even see the water. They simply sit in sanguine expectation for the King of Darkness to appear. I swear by the seal of the Aqua Spirit etched upon your arm. I know my birthmark is just one small part of the water crest. I'm sure I don't have enough power to help the Aqua Spirit. All I can do is try my best to lead my people. Aw, man, it's the fucking Dark Signers again. I gotta find all the pieces of the water spirits.
Yeah.
You come together and you do like the whole Voltron thing is, I'll form the head! You stick your arm into the pile. I saw him in a dream last night. He was all grown up. He grew up fine without me. Hoping he can find a first mate as fine as you. He pulled a Bardock. Had a vision of his son in the future fighting the Demon Lord.
Yeah.
AKA Frieza.
Yep.
Was Frieza just a big Dragon Quest reference?
Maybe.
They are frost demons. Demons?
Yeah.
It was all Akira Toriyama's secret plot to get people to play Dragon Quest. We fell down like 10 feet. Captain has called for you.
Yeah, but no telling how bad the waves were.
We got thrown into the sea and then immediately just wham right against the boat. Hi, guy. You're in color now.
Yeah.
Iska, that's what I was going to name my son. Please accept my apologies for the rough treatment you received from my men. I heard all about your adventures from Amit. You have been set adrift in the world without much of a clue as to what's going on. But between your story and Amit's, I think I understand what you're in. Man, it's been a long time for you.
Yep.
Our ship was frozen for hundreds of years. Incredible! I suppose anything is possible underneath the pernicious reign of the Demon Lord. I've heard your efforts have saved many lands. You've also helped the people of Coastal, right? Yes. I imagine you're in possession of the Aquagon sword. It's a one-of-a-kind ceremonial sword that was bestowed upon us by the Aqua Spirit. Before setting sail for the final battle, I gave the sword to King Coastal. I always fought to protect his people, so I know he would have bestowed the sword upon you. If the story of your travels is true, would it be possible for you to show me the sword? Holds it up in the air. Da-da-da-da.
Zelda Master Sword pose.
Yeah. Nah, he does it in like the Ocarina of Time pose, where he like holds his hand up and the object that is like 20 times smaller than it normally is floats in his hand, rotates.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I love this man has like the most sense. It's like, all right, so you helped Coastal, right? All right, so if you helped Coastal, he would have given you that sword. So if you show me the sword, you're obviously correct. It's like the one irrefutable piece of evidence that he has, and he goes straight to it. She's my wife. I would like to speak with you alone for a moment. Please follow me.
Wife gone.
The question is what to do now. We have been thrust into a world of darkness, with seemingly no hope of escape. By the grace of the Aqua Spirit, at least the ice spell on cast on our ship has no effect in this world. Now, hundreds of years have passed since that hideous battle. Could you please hold up the Aquagon sword again? Ba-na-na-na. Shark Eye stares at Easkin's arm instead of the Aquagon sword. Okay, there it is. That mark on your arm! That's a section of the water crest! You must be... I was only half joking with the water crest stuff. But come on, I thought it would be a little longer. I thought it would be a little longer. Sword guard.
Well, at least it was only 2 parts, not 5.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
You should be able to hear me. You are the last hope that God has left for us. But being sealed away in this dark world renders such hope meaningless. You have already awakened the Flame Spirit to help light the way through the darkness. With that kind of power, awakening the Terra and Wind Spirit should not be difficult. I am the Aqua Spirit. I have been watching over you during my long slumber. That's why you can swim so well.
Yeah.
I too await the moment of awakening. Once you have awakened the other spirits, bring the Aquagon to Rainbow Cove, and pray together with the powers of fire, earth, and wind. Water gives birth to life. The earth cultivates life. The wind carries life. Fire makes life flourish. Water is where life returns. Once all the elements have joined together, you will be released from this world of darkness. Just released from this world, period.
Yeah.
The mark on my arm has disappeared. Gosh, I don't have the blessing anymore. Must have been a prophecy. Like you are meant to carry out our mission. The entire water crest is emblazoned upon your arm. Did that happen in 5Ds?
It sure did.
Oh my god.
I mean, it wasn't permanent though, but they would share their signs with the person who needed it to make the full Crimson Dragon.
It's like Power Rangers if they gave all of their power to one person per fight.
Yeah.
Indicating 2 paths for us to follow. One is to Esterd. The other is a route leading to parts unknown. There might be clues waiting for us down that path. Maybe it's to Dharma so I can change my freaking jobs eventually. Shark Eye? Yes? Can I loot your ship? It's just like,
Do you have pots here? Barrels? Things that are throwable?
Right, please exit from the bow of the ship. For longer. Okay, so we have a free in-ret. Now I can loot the ship. Oh, you couldn't even leave me like a space. Behind the books is something that looks like a ship's log. And even stronger since yesterday. A moment of truth may be getting closer. My dear wife and child, this sea connects me to you. As long as I am in the scene, I will always be by your side. That's a lot of books. Imagine like one of these books had like how to summon the Aqua Spirit. It's like, nope, no special books.
Yeah.
All right, so a really good question. What's part's the bow of the ship?
I don't remember.
Like port, starboard, bow, and stern, I think, are like the port side.
I think bow might be the front. It's either front or back.
Maybe. Ooh, a shop. Hi, guy. The gaudiest sword. Nothing. What do you got? I'm assuming you're an armor. Oh. Oh. Different. Okay, that's a fair bit more than the other sword. I'm glad I didn't buy it. 223. We'll see. We'll see what else. There might be something more useful to buy. We can go back to Esther to go to the bank. So. Okay, so that's definitively useless here. Silver Shield is good for Maribel. That's good for everybody, pretty much. That's a fair bit. How much was that again? 33,000. A lot of. Yeah, I'm very glad that I got us a lot of savings. Holy crap. That dragon armor is 20 defense more.
Yep.
God, this stuff is so expensive. Like, this is what I meant, by the way, when I said, like, this stuff is not even scratching the surface of how expensive things are going to be.
Yeah.
I might just grab, like, 250,000 and say, like, alright, here we go. Our shopping funds for this trip. There it is. We'll loot the ship first and see what we got. Oh man, we can't even go turn these in.
Yep.
Man.
It's definitely the equivalent of playing in a D&D campaign and then like the DM doing like the, you know, final act stuff, you have like a big dungeon, you get like all this loot and stuff, and it's like half of it is like sellable stuff, and it's like you can't even go back to town to like buy more supplies or sell this stuff. And you're
Yeah.
just like, man, it sure would be nice, DM, if we had a chance to do commerce.
Yeah. That just that. This is a different part of the ship.
It's like a whole town.
I mean, I think it's probably meant to be.
Yeah.
Because everywhere we're gonna go, we've pretty much explored already, so. Oh boy, 20 gold.
Wow.
And this is like, this is one of those situations where like the captain of the ship, who has control of everything on board, has said, you're the hope of the world right now. Like, you are the person who is going to help us bring light. Why the hell are you charging us for the weapons that we need?
Because video games.
I know, but like, it never made sense to me. And they even have a farm down here. What the heck? What is this, 1,000 Sunny?
Might as well.
Yeah, pretty much. Hi, guide.
So as I said, this definitely seems like it would be a one-piece ship.
Yeah. Ah, man, this guy was in prison and then they were frozen. Man, that's gotta suck. What the? That just, okay. Alright, so we've checked everything down there. Yeah, it literally is just the whole town in here. Makes sense. They did build a castle here.
Yeah.
Why there's nothing in there? Barely see it. Yeah, what sucks is I unfortunately... Leave! Stop it!
Don't you want to hear about my story, though?
No! It's just, this is unfortunately where I really don't like this guide. Because it was just like... Because it has like the names of these towns and stuff overall. And it's like, I get this is a new section, but you didn't have to label the entire section Shark Eye.
Yeah.
Okay, so... How do I... How do I get... Okay. Where are we? What? Where? I... want to go back to Esterd. I don't think that's where we are anymore. No, because there'd be... God fucking damn it!
This encounter rate, though.
He tried. At this point, it's just a waste of my time.
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, we told them not to worry about you. We'll have to head to Soar, and I'm like, where? Are you kidding me? Okay, I'm about to say. Can I not get back to Esterd?
I guess not.
I better have access to the fucking bank. Because I'll be honest, as interested in this story as I am, the lack of player quality of life here is legitimately subtracting points with every time I think about it. It will take this game from a 9 to a 6.5. It's actively frustrating to be mega fucked like this. Yeah, this is what they're doing. They're just robbing us of the ability to go get resources. I honestly wonder if they were just rushed to hell when they put this out.
Maybe.
So they just didn't have time to put any of it in.
I don't know, we could try to talk to the guy at the helm instead and see if that changes where we're ending up.
Oh my god. Like, is it too much to be able to go back to the freaking bank? Or put a bank here?
Yeah, for as many things as they have here, a bank not being one is definitely odd.
Okay, thank god.
There you go. Because having that one NPC next to Shark Eyes mention, oh yeah, you could talk to the helmsman.
Okay. It's already bad enough not being able to change jobs if I need to.
Oh, I know, but...
So, like, not being able to go to Fishbell would have been awful.
Yeah. That is why I'm also trying to pay more attention to things to help out. Because I know you're frustrated.
Get out of the way. That and constantly having these NPCs in my way is kind of annoying.
Yeah.
Just trying to make it so we have as easy of a time as possible. And this game is just fighting me at every turn. Like our PvP teams in 14.
Yeah.
Where'd the ship go? Okay, it was just a little off. I thought it was closer. Hopefully that's enough money. That's not the way. This is the way. Wait, no. You don't need... Now, this is something that I don't quite understand about this ship. Oh, dude. This is the thing I don't understand about this ship, is why do you have two shops and one that just sells objectively worse gear?
Yeah.
Unless you just, like, desperately need the upgrade. Oh. Alright, that is not good for anybody. This was good for everybody. Doing my due diligence again here. Buy this. Okay, I can just spam X here. Cursor memory is something I'm not used to, but I definitely have grown fond of. Where I can just spam X if I'm buying multiple stuff. Keep forgetting I can't move with the analog stick. Okay. Bastard sword was good for Ira. Who had the dragon armor?
Maribel, I think.
No, like who had it? Was it?
Oh.
I didn't see it on that one guy.
I don't remember.
Let's look again. I may have just. Definitely doesn't have it.
Unless it was on the guy who had some objectively worse gear.
I'll amend my statement to say mostly worse gear. Yeah. This mithril helm hasn't been good for a while, even before we got the sacred armor. Or the Metal King stuff. It is good for Maribel, though. Oh my god, we are going to spend all of our fucking money here. That's insane.
You know, that's probably why it takes so much experience to even level up, is because they were probably expecting people were going to need to grind a bajillion encounters for not only job experience, but also just experience points in general to get money. It's fucked up.
Ah! Fucking. Okay, whatever. Da-da. Spent almost 300,000 gold.
Yeah.
And I would like to remind everybody the encounters that we got while we were on the newest island gave us 300 gold in total. I would like everyone to realize why I put the gold cheat on in the first place. This is why. This is ridiculous. Okay, so this specifically says magic and flame. Oh. It's defaulted to the herb, so I'll have to go back and fix that. Dragon, armor. As much as I like the sacred armor, like we can heal every round if I need. I have not come that close to dying.
Yeah.
Maribel needs kind of everything she can get right now, but she's at 199. She's quite close. So, like, I think she's more defense than Gabo right now. Fast sword. Ira finally has a new weapon. I'm actually incredibly happy that Deja sword lasted for a while.
Yeah.
They finally found something that was better than the bunny. There's so many seats to use, but that is a very long and tedious process of save stating to make sure I actually get something from them.
Yeah.
But again, just for those who don't know or don't remember, because I don't know if I said anything about it, the seeds, based on whatever RNG seed you're on, do have a chance to give you nothing. Okay. We buy everything. Lower. Yeah, there we go. Can you not save? What's the point?
Talk to the priestess?
I don't think that's gonna work, but I'll humor you. No. It must be some kind of mistake. You're right. You're the only person who's probably figured it out.
Yeah. That's really dumb that they don't even have a save person.
Like, I understand. It would make more sense to just not have him there.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I can at least make do with the fact that we can't change jobs, but really that's only because I got lucky and the jobs that we have are all pretty good.
Yeah.
And this is where I would have put a big old warning on this guy and be like, once you go past this point, you will not be able to change jobs for a while. Make sure you're on something good.
Job points be damned.
Job points be damned, you are not going to be changing for a long while. Make sure you're either done grinding or you're on something good. Let me talk. Oh, man. Southwestern lands. I don't remember what's over there. I don't know why it cutting off there is so funny to me, but it is. Because it's like, Because if it had cut off, like, at the end of, like, the one section, I don't think it would be as funny, but the fact it cuts off at the beginning of the next section is so funny to me.
Yeah, because it doesn't even, like, fade. It is, like, a straight cut.
Alright, well, thanks to our earlier explanation, we know that left is not the way to go.
Yeah.
Thank God. Thank God. It's Dharma. Oh my God. Okay. I only skimmed the guide, so I was just like, I really hope, you know, I was holding out this hope, like, I really, really hope that one of the places I go has Dharma in it, because that would really suck otherwise. But it's like, you have to go really far to get to this point. It gets like half a pass for me.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he's here. Do you do the thing?
Do you do the thing?
Please tell me you do the thing. Pog. Okay. Everything's all right. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 game. Open eyes? Close that. Open eyes? Close that. Okay. I'll apologize a little for my salt, but still, like, man, that is like old ass priest outfit, like orange and everything. Who in the world could commit such a sin? I don't know. Maybe the one person in the entire history of everything who could have committed such a sin.
Yeah.
No. I don't know what you're talking about, and not yet. Okay, so we're on Dharma.
What is this, like a Cynthia situation? Where she fights us and she kicks our fucking ass?
I literally don't know. So I'm just not taking that chance.
Save state. Save state.
If you fight just 33 times more, you can rise to the skill level of Ranger.
Oh, I see.
Okay. Okay, so there is a person that does all this. I don't know how I didn't talk to her.
Alright, well, there you go.
At least we're close to maxing some of these, and now that we have this, we can change if we need to. It's probably going to be a bit tedious to get here, but I don't feel bad with the jobs that everyone had. Maribel was pretty close. I think it was like 18. So, you know what would be the most rude thing ever? Would be if the armor shop here suddenly had gear better than the ones on the show.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Wondering where to
That
go.
would be both sad and hilarious.
It would be sad and hilarious, but the only reason it wouldn't be really that sad is because I can just get as much gold as I want.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm good. I guess we could change anyone's name if we wanted to, but yeah, this is why I look stuff up, by the way. I never would have come down here. I'm sick and tired of waiting. When can we go home? Can't leave while the monsters are running loose outside. We'll go out and get rid of the monsters already. If you don't want to die, then you better not leave the temple. The monsters would overwhelm you in an instant. I won't stop you, but you'd better be prepared. I can't stand this place anymore. Running away is for cowards. I mean... You can do sit-ups and push-ups all you want. It's not really gonna help you much. And it doesn't really look like there's anybody who's got a backbone here, so... Okay, that's right. Oh, wow. Oh, yeah, that's right. This place is literally just here to change it up. That's why they gave you the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're not using the ship for the next 2 sections. We have the portals.
Yeah, that's true.
It dawned on me. Because I'm looking at it and it's like, oh, you should head to the Fane. And I was like, why we head to the Fane? We just had the ship. Oh, that's right. Do a little wiggle in here. This is what frustrates me a little bit with this game is there's this disconnect between the Dragon Quest creators and the people who make Final Fantasy. There always has been in just a lot of various different ways. And most of the ways it's just in, like, creative choices and like how they write the stories, how they progress. And I will say one of the things that has existed for a very, very long time in Final Fantasy, I don't think exists in Dragon Quest, is in Final Fantasy 1. I would want to go play the original version and kind of verify this, but I know in like many re-releases of Final Fantasy 1, because it was tile-based, you know, you could be stuck behind an NPC. So what they did is if you kept walking against an NPC, they would be forced to move.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, why doesn't this game that came out like way later have? Nope.
Nope.
They're cheap, so whatever. It's a miracle they worked for the one dungeon they did.
Yeah.
As always, repellent continues to be the most useful item. So everyone's at rank 6. Good to remember. Defending! Defense won't save you against this onslaught. Bah.
Bah.
Yeah, so to be able to afford the armor we just purchased, we would need 1,000 encounters.
Yeah.
Like, and to give an idea of what this means, the highest amount of encounters to max a class from beginning to end that I saw was 280.
Mm-hmm.
Which means you'd master like 4 classes by the time that grind is done, from beginning to end.
Yeah.
That's a little ridiculous. If I have to be honest here. I can only hope the 3DS version is better. I'm gonna try and
But
not.
over 100 hours of gameplay.
What are we at right now? Is there a way to look? 95. We're close. I cut out about 20 hours of grinding with the bank trip.
Yeah.
Alright. Really? You're giving us another one of those? Just for free? Okay. Looking at the treasure list between the two areas, I was like, huh. Alright, I guess we just get one of those for free.
Well.
Not that it's really any use to us anymore, but... Curious on some... I didn't look at it earlier. No, okay. Looks like I think they're all the same. Yeah, because I saw this shield on the back, and I was like, I wonder if that the pieces of armor are different. Because I know that was a thing in the 3DS version.
Yeah.
I mean, not the stuff being the shrines having like different things, but all right, so we're back. People here? There they are. Been dark for days and days. I heard God was revived. Is it really true? No. Just as I thought. We were all excited about the rumors, and then this happens. What's that? Beep. Just fell over. Ow.
Ow.
I'm surprised he's not dead. That means he has more HP than normal. Alright. And if that's the case.
Very well, you have chosen death. Of the highest caliber.
Gone. Deleted. I think I'm okay. We have to make our way out of the tower normally. No, we have an ad break in 3 minutes here. I'm just gonna run it while we get out of here. The ads are to stop the pre-roll ads for new viewers coming in. They're to stop the random ads for showing up while you're just randomly watching, or if you got a refresh. If you subscribe, either with Twitch Prime or a gift sub or a recurring sub, you don't have to watch the ads. Or if you've got an ad blocker that's not the one that I use, you can block the ads. I don't know which ones work, but you figure it out if you want to. You won't miss anything. We're just leaving this place. See, I remembered before I clicked the button.
Good job. Proud of you.
Hello, can you let me out? Can't get past the door. Just from the outside. What? No? No, that way. The trees forgot the whisper of the wind, and the dark clouds seeped the color from the sky. That's from a poem passed down throughout our people's literary history. I hate the idea, but maybe it was prophesying what's going on right now. I don't think it was meant to be a prophecy, but
Yeah.
this thing tells me it was probably not meant to be a prophecy. Up on this. Well, I was hoping it would go the other way, but this works too. I heard screams! What's happening? I can't see! Where's the fight? Grandma's itching for a bloodbath. Trying to remember this dungeon backwards. A bit difficult. No, that's right. I keep coming from this way. Okay. I didn't change it. You're definitely coming from this way because that's how you activate the switch. Where's the door that you normally this? Okay. This seems correct. Okay, you know what? Let's go in here because there's some dialogue. We get the ads over. It's Writing's Furia left us may hold the key to this entire predicament. Guided by the voice from heaven, climb the rock that towers above the southern lands. At the peak of the rock is the holy altar. That's what it says. That the tower to the south is the wind tower. In other words, the wind altar is on top of the wind tower. It's gotta be it. I don't have any proof to back that up. Not making this speech without good reason. This is an emergency. There's no time to prove everything I say. As long as the potential for survival exists, we must quickly settle upon a course for action. Yes! Okay, someone's got a brain cell. We don't have the time to prove everything.
Yeah.
True, we can't forget about the monsters. Who could we possibly ask to go into the wind tower? No one! That's the problem. Help greatly if I could tell this to the Pendragon. Wow, sure sounds like a predicament you guys got yourself in.
Yeah.
Anyway. Hardly sufficient. I need someone to check it out for me. Help greatly if I could tell this to the Pendragon. Hello? Warrior. Right here. You're not seeing my bulging biceps? That are like...
You're just a stupid kid dressed in green.
It's like, I don't remember, it's the dumbbell anime, but it's just the normal guy, he flexes and suddenly he's just bodybuilder. Just... Or like Master Roshi just suddenly just becomes like 20 feet tall and muscular. He's like,
you're just a fairy boy. Get out of here.
And we just like run over. Like, holy shit! You look like
you're
you
a fairy boy.
No. It's like holy shit! He falls backwards. Like you look like you could tell Pendragon for me. Alright. I remember this place, because it's... After this battle, it's down and to the left. Oh, hold on. I don't...
Wreckmans.
You know what? I think it's a better way to put it. For the sacred armor, I don't think the sacred armor would help against anything really just specifically. Because anything that it would help heal against, I would need to heal the party anyway.
Yeah.
I'm clearly not paying attention to this battle at all. Otherwise, I'd have done something different than vacuum again. Can't believe I tamed a monster under the demon Lord Jesus' darkness.
Yeah. We've had a few of those.
Have we?
At least like one or two other ones, I think.
What is this dude? General!
General!
Go to the general to save some time! Oh, this might be my favorite monster design. Look at this man. Goodbye, General. I'll miss you.
Also be resistant, but he is not.
He did take all 4.
Yeah.
Hi, guy. Doing my skim check for items. I don't think any of them are going to be in this town, but never know. You talk to this random person and they'll give you a god sword.
We
I
got a big old crowd.
Right. Okay. Going to bring the Pendragon. Stay where you are. It's the dog. Bark! Oh, it's like the one person still with wing. See all this? You're surprised to see me like this. I explain, I see some new faces here. Can I have your names? I am Safana. The Pendragon of the Lefa tribe. You all know our peaceful land is being slowly taken over by vile monsters, and the sky has grown dark and hideous. I do not know the cause of this, but I am worried. Painfully deeply to lose even one of my subjects to the scourge. Stay in the valley until some sense of order returns to the chaos. I'm going to find out what caused these events, and I will do everything I can to protect you. For 2 months now, I have hidden myself away. My body, as you can see, has grown wings. During my seclusion, I tried to figure out what caused this change. I believe it is connected in some way to the malady we currently face. I ask anyone who has confidence in their skill as a warrior to please present themselves to me. That is all. May the divine protection of Theria shine upon you and give you peace. Alright, someone else with a brain cell. Just be like, if you know how to fight, I want to talk to you. Alright, well, we know what we gotta do. You should go home and get a fish sandwich first.
You look hungry. Sorry, we don't have food that we can give you. You should go home.
Legit him. Stop. I should be like, alright, I'm gonna take a break and get food. I know we just had an ad break, but that's what I would do. Nice of you to come, but I'm afraid you're here at somewhat of a bad time. No, I'm here at the exact correct time. Have you come to lend me as your power as a fighter? Yes. I wish to go to the wind tower southeast of this valley. Okay, so you... Clearly, the researchers and this woman had the same thought process. They're like, maybe the wind tower holds the secret to what we need to do. To tell the truth, I'm not sure, But ever since I've gotten these wings, I've had this feeling that someone's calling me from the tower. The researchers at the Thane say there's some sort of wind altar. Let's investigate it further. But I'd like you to serve as my guard on the way to the tower. Yes. So, southeast after leaving the valley. Okay, exit the house and head east to the man's block. Okay. I was wondering which exit do I need to take. I did not remember specifically where the wind tower was. Yeah, but virtually all the treasures aside from that tiara are probably going to be in the tower. Please be careful. You know what? Now that I think about it, that's like this wild twist of fate. It's like a village of winged people and flying everywhere, and God's chosen is one who has no wings. Fast forward to like 500 years later, nobody has wings, and God's chosen is grown wings.
Yeah.
I'm actually dealing less damage.
Yeah.
Oh. Maribel was definitely dealing less damage. Might be the strat to use vacuum on everything with her. What's she wielding again? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, hold on. It might be better to just... Yeah, Gabo doesn't have a lot either. I exited the menu, move like a fraction of a pixel. The repellent is no longer effective. Good southeast.
Yeah. There is another southeastern section.
I know, but that's on the other side of the town. Well, after I get this out of this battle, yeah, I also have a feeling I'm either gonna make Gabo a paladin or a hero, just to get him more MP. Alright, let's see. What's the map here? Okay, so I can head this way. I just wasn't sure if that part was blocked off by mountains on this side or not. Bolt Devil, I don't like the look of you. Yep, that's...
Get fucked, buddy.
Why is everyone else unaffected by it?
Shrub go.
Everyone else. I don't...
Was it the people who were wearing the Metal King stuff?
No, because I was wearing...
Oh. I don't know, maybe that was the equivalent of dodging? I don't know.
We're just gonna go back to town real quick. Resto. We did use a bunch of MP and we have not refilled it.
Yeah. Yet you're conserving.
No, I'm trying to get more damage out of it.
Could have just alternated.
I was trying to see if Gabo deals more damage with
Fair enough.
attack or vacuum. Because if they're resistant, it doesn't matter. But you know, if it's just the one guy, and you know, like if another general shows up, like I want to kill him in one turn. Because we can kill him in one turn, but you know, apparently not if everyone attacks. That's what I mean. Trying to gauge that on a free encounter that was worth the test on. We also now know where to go, so. But I realized, like, hold on, we don't have. Easkin did use the 20 MP, and we're gonna want that 20 MP later. For what, I don't know, but.
Yeah, wizard rings.
Yeah. But when the town's right there.
Yeah.
I think we killed them with one round of vacuum, so. Yeah, Maribel definitely deals more damage with vacuum than regular attacks. I think they're, like, mildly resistant to it, though.
Yeah. Just 62 damage. He takes 91, so he might be weak to vacuum. I don't know. But Gabo probably deals more damage with vacuum, if that's the case. So probably Easkin and Ira will be attacking. I can almost sense the presence of monsters. What has become of this world? Yes. So I get the Pendragon's authorization. I can't let anyone in. It's me! Cannot blame you, nor I'm afraid can I explain my current appearance or my intentions in climbing the tower. There's no time now, but I assure you I am the real Pendragon. Ow. I don't like this floor. Oh, I don't like this. Yeah.
Ah, no, there's monsters here too.
Zomber.
There's zombie, and then there's zombier. I had
there's always somebody zombier than you. But
Fortunate. Great. Great.
Oh, nice. Good stuff.
They are very tanky.
As these Dragon Quest zombies tend to be.
They're good.
Damn.
so much HP.
That's easily like 300.
Yeah. Finally putting all these antidotes we picked up to use.
Yeah.
We have had these for a while. It's that one guy from Dark Souls.
Yeah. Claynate.
Yeah. Okay. Boom. And... I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
What the hell?
No. Ah, no.
This shit sucks.
Gosh. Why didn't you attack the one that was gonna die in one hit? This might be the hardest dungeon. It's only because the zombies resist vacuum.
Yeah.
Nice. Chip. Or plastic. One of the two. Okay. Oh, here we go. Yeah, so we just get a free miracle sword.
Well.
Don't think it's any good to anyone, but... Yeah, not really. Okay. Trying to get in the door and it was like, no!
I think it probably would have been good on Ira, but if we didn't buy the bastard sword.
It would have been good on Ira if we hadn't bought the sword. So it's kind of like you just giving us after that?
Yeah, but assuming somebody didn't have the money for it.
Yeah. Given the increase it gave her, I would have grinded the money for it.
Yeah.
Are you eating chips or crunkling plastic?
Oh, that is my plastic bag that has M&Ms in it.
Okay, because it sounds like a chip.
Oh. I will mute my mic next time, because I wasn't sure if it was picking up or not.
I mentioned it earlier, I guess you just didn't hear me. Go this way. Or the guide's just fucking with me. Oh, it's a ladder. I thought it was like some weird hole. Ooh, I love this. It's a turn-based game and not any other game. Oh, hi, guys. The one thing that everyone doesn't resist. Cold.
Yeah.
Never. Pot. I might have known that was a bad pot. I just want to have some fun with it. But like, all right, when I throw it down, it'll be time to strike. Wait, what are you doing? No!
You can't carry me around forever.
Nice. A wasted turn. Ooh, and a chili scarf. Not bad. What's your okay? Strength ring on you. Great. All right, load up. Go back to the old strat. Wow. You're still alive after that. That's incredible.
Yeah.
I've had to think more in this dungeon than I think any boss fight so far.
Yeah.
Oh no, not twin hits.
Get out of here.
Anyway. $1,200 gold. You'll need 30 times that to buy stuff from the shop. Nice.
Good crit.
Nice. Let's go.
Wee. We got a mimic cart. We got a mimic.
I'll take it. Will I use it?
Ev-
Probably not, but...
Eventually, we'll go to our monster park.
Oh, I can't now, so...
Oh, I know. I'm just saying, eventually we'll be able to go back and deliver all those blueprints, see all our buddies.
Northwest. Northwest. Okay. Trying to get off it. Wouldn't let me. Trying to... Gonna be one of these. Oh my god, I didn't walk that far forward. Are we winning? Maybe.
Maybe. Yeah.
There we go. Okay. Only took 40 tries to do.
Oh, zombies got hands.
Tanky zombies immune to vacuum sucks.
Oh, that looks like a wind altar. Except it's not.
Definitely a thing, but...
So I did not see that set of stairs.
What's this? Is this the wind altar? I've heard so much about it. What should we do? What do you think that hole in the middle of the room is for? This wind is powerful! Maybe we can climb higher by riding on the wind, just as the elephants once traveled. But have you ever tried using those wings? I tried flying a few times after my wings sprouted, but I couldn't quite get the hang of it. I can hear a voice! It says do it! Heard a familiar voice from the past. Can you hear my voice? Oh, hi. Visifana, let your heart soar in the wind and you will recover the robe lost for all these years. Our protector must be awoken. The wind robe, that will awaken the wind spirit. Geez, can you recognize me? I'm like 500 years old now. I started to study the world. I found out where you're from and what you're looking for and why I was born without wings. My wings were to be the last pair given to the Lefa tribe, and I, as their bearer, am destined to assist you in your journey. Except they weren't!
Yeah.
The person in front of us clearly has them. So she was like the reincarnation of the wind spirit or something? Here we go. Ah!
Give me flight beyond flight.
We all separate and fly off to the corner of the earth. Oh god, hold on. Oh my god, no. Oh no.
Yeah, I figured this is what we were
No.
dealing with.
Oh, great. I didn't know I signed up to play Fez. You're from below, aren't you? This village is the origin of the Leffa tribe. We told the people that left, you'd be like, you'd lose your wings in like 200 years, you fucking idiots. But did they believe us? No! Divided into two sects, those who remained here preserved their tradition, while the rest chose to explore the ground. The Wind Spirit gave each sect a gift. We above received the Wind Robe, those below received the statue. When they are put together, the Spirit will awaken and lend us her strength in our time of need. When I heard the lower tribe lost their wings, I thought the Spirit would never reawaken, but I'm overjoyed to know that I was wrong. Maybe I was a fool for taking everything that Pendragon said at face value. Wow, it sure sounds like they knew your name, huh?
Mm-hmm.
It sure is convenient that the people who can fly made a cube of gravity.
Yeah.
How does this well work? Oh no. Oh no! It works exactly like I thought it would. No!
Yeah, they're pushing the 3 dimensions to their limits.
Legally distinct sort of foretelling of future events give me patience beyond patience that I need to solve this puzzle. I think this guy was lonely.
Yeah.
I started cleaning it. I guess the smell made me faint halfway through. Hold on. Oh, it did go in. Okay. Alright. What we're gonna do, we're gonna leave the last one there. The last two. Actually, no. I'm gonna grab this one. But don't forget it. Where we start? I know that says bar, but it looks like it says rad.
Yeah.
Why is there a child serving drinks? It was stolen long ago by a monster. We haven't seen it since. Well, that sucks. Nothing's ever simple, is it?
No. It's a shame we now have enough tiny metals for the next thing.
Yeah. Sure, it'd be a shame if we could get it. That's probably the Pendragon resident. we'll go help that guy. Oh no, it's back. Okay, fine. That's what I thought would happen, but made a mess again.
It multiplied. We left one. It's like a damn Karibo.
I'm the village Pendrick.
You're like, that place looks important. Let's not go there.
Am I wrong?
You're not wrong.
Locked the door instead. The monsters were trapped inside. You look strong enough to go in. I'll give you the seal key. Okay, so it was important.
Yeah.
I love this story. Some monster tried to steal their robe. We couldn't fight it, but we could lock the door, so we did.
Yeah.
If you listen to it closely at night, you can hear it. Let me know if you manage to come back alive. Go ahead, take it. It's 5 gold.
Orb.
Using the Halo Orb, you can go between here and the lower world in a flash. Oh, nice. I don't have to go through the tower. That place sucked.
Yeah.
Where is the inn?
I would like to heal my boo-boos, please.
Hello, I used a lot of boom on the way here. Placing 1,000 arms, dude. What? Yes.
Yeah, it was the one you kept avoiding.
I don't remember my way around this cube. This L cube.
I was gonna say, I'm like, I swear it was in the back.
I just knew it was around the inn residence. I was like, okay, well. Oh, great.
He did say a maze.
This place can be very confusing and will be hard to walk through.
Good.
Hit south 2 scenes and step on the orange tile. Beep.
Well, looking at this dungeon here, I don't think this was part of the crunch. If there was crunch.
That was not what I was expecting.
Doggo. The Cerebus.
Really? You missed one vacuum and suddenly you take 35 damage. East all the way to the States. Right? Okay. North. Up. There we go. I'd never figure this out. Not without like an hour.
Mm-hmm.
I think I got myself lost. Because again, this is all just a bunch of words that are in one paragraph. Formatting was lost on this person who made this guide. It's apparently too difficult to space directions out in sections. Yeah, because they have the first section and then the second section lumped in together, so I have to go halfway through the paragraph to get to it. Hold on.
What is this dungeon called?
The Wind Maze.
Okay. Let me see if I can find a YouTube video.
And again, the mass of words has lost me because there's a bajillion instances of north, east, south, and west.
Yeah.
And again, why the hell are there monster encounters with this puzzle?
Yeah.
I complained the same thing about Pokemon with ice puzzles. It's like, you have this giant ice puzzle, and you have encounters every 3 seconds. Because they don't have so many encounters. Can you stop doing crit attacks? You've done 2 actions and both of them were auto crits. Come on.
You sound exactly like the guy that I'm trying to look at his thing.
I'm glad to know I'm
Like
not alone.
shortly after you're like, can you please stop critting this guy? Man, I fucking hate this place.
That's so good. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna move my window around so it's not so far. Alright, I have my method here. And all the way until the screen rotates. South, then travel all the way. All the way west. Down. Head north, then east. West. West. There we go. Okay. I see where we're supposed to go, but we'll have to get there. These encounters are driving me nuts, dude.
Yeah, I believe it.
By the way, if you ever wonder why I don't play old games, this is why. Because most of them are like this in some manner of regard.
At the very least, you are dealing way more damage than he is.
Yeah, because I grinded to hell and back. If this game had a normal level of grinding, I would not be dealing this much damage. I'd be way more frustrated. I think I just do this. If not, I'm sad.
You do.
Hey, guess what? Area 3, baby! That's not it?
Yeah, I know. I saw.
god.
I also saw in the video that I was watching that there was like a zoom camera out thing. I don't know what button that would be.
Don't remember. There it is.
So mayhaps that might be useful, but
Yeah, but you can't move while it's zoomed out.
yeah.
All the way. Do, 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 do. Alright. Now. Oh my god. Right.
Oh yeah, looking at the level discrepancy here, they're only like level 25, 28.
Oh, how did you get this far, dude?
So it's like the big damage was from Maribel using the lava staff, dealing like around 80-ish damage to everything.
I really hope I'm going the right way. This would drive me insane trying to figure this out normally.
Yeah. Which is why I said that this guy, you would be saying the exact same stuff as I've heard him say, because I assume he is not doing this with a guide, and he is just going.
I don't know who you are, mystery YouTube fan, but I feel your pain. I don't know who you are, but I feel it. This is why I picked the guide. I didn't know I would need it like this, but...
This is why sometimes it's important for some of the stuff to be visually archived.
Yes.
So that way, as much as it sucks for somebody to suffer, that allows for someone else to not suffer as much.
Maybe I just figure this out and just make a, here's how to do wind maze. And it's just that. That's it. There's nothing else. I just leveled the 99 so there's no encounters so you can figure out where to go. So it's, oh, I got an encounter, pause.
Yep. Doing God's work. Doing the wind spirit's work.
Easter road. Okay. Then south through it. Then west. And then I go up here and I get a monster encounter.
You sure do.
Please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Thank you.
Oofda.
Guess what, baby?
There's still
Area 4!
This
This is actually that bad, but I just want to play. Have fun, baby. Let's go! Let's go! The linear path! Wow, that's strange.
Tell the person behind us, nothing personnel, kid.
Oh my, who on earth is trying to open my chest? Well, I never would have thought. Humans in a place like this. Must mean I can finally escape. With my robe? Don't make me laugh. Surely you must be joking. Never give up my most precious possession. We want to wait for the ad to go off. It just started. Yeah. I feel bad for this person who's playing this game. This battle can be tough if you have characters in low HP classes.
I'm honestly kind of tempted to look.
I don't want to look at the rest of it, but just that seeing that first line, just ooh. God, I grinded for all that stuff. Would not be here otherwise. Another thing is, if the repellent actually worked worth a dang, like, if I didn't have to be, like, level 50 for repellent to work right now, like, I don't think this would be nearly as awful to go through, because I'd be like, oh, I just need to go buy 50 repellents, and then I can try and do the puzzle. And then I go, oh, I got my ass kicked by the boss? Because, like, here's what's rough about this, right?
Yeah.
You save outside, and you go, okay, I got some. You've puzzled through this. You've spent like an hour and a half in this dungeon, more than likely. You puzzle through this dungeon. There's a boss at the end. You die. Now you have to figure it out again.
Yeah. Well, skimming through the time bar, spend at least 12 minutes on this boss fight.
That's actually not that fair, but
it is a good section of, I would say, at least 3/4 of his 27-minute video.
We got like 50 seconds left on the ads. I didn't do the spiel because I forgot, but I'm not looking at the boss fight. I'm gonna play this the same way. I will say I would have vetoed it on this dungeon as soon as I figured out what it was. But we do have a channel point reward for making me go through a dungeon without the guide.
Yeah.
If you're looking for something to spend your points on and make me suffer. Yeah, that's the reward for you. I would have vetoed it on this one.
Mm-hmm.
If only for the fact that we've spent so long in this game already. If this was like the third dungeon in the game, I probably wouldn't have.
Yeah.
But I probably would have been like, okay, yeah, I can do this. And I would probably just, having figured it out, like what this dungeon would be like, alright, I'll put like a time limit on it instead of an hour, like an hour. I mean, like, all right, if we're not out of this dungeon in an hour, we're no further redemptions on this dungeon. We're using the guide to power through it at this point. But I think I would do that with any dungeon. I would be like, all right, we spent an hour and we can't figure out where we're going. Let's bust open the guide.
Yeah.
There he is. Oh, wait, no, there's a skill.
We fought one of these as a basic enemy. The dumpy enemy.
Jump.
Also, don't forget you have the multi-heal rock.
We do have the multi-kill rock, but right now... I might give that to Maribel, that she's here.
Mm-hmm.
I believe her agility was comparable. And she has way less MP. And that would free Ira up to use buff spells.
Mm-hmm.
652! We're going up in the world, baby. What? Right? Nuts. If Maribel has quad hits, I think she does.
I think so.
No? Yes? Falcon cut.
No.
Let's try it. We're looking at 98 damage to beat here. That's relatively the same. Yeah, I can see why he spent 12 minutes on it. Look how much HP he freaking has.
Yeah.
This is where I think the scaling is a bit absurd.
Yeah.
Like... It's one of those things, I feel like they made the skill first and then adjusted the boss to have it. The HP to deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, I know we are dealing an absurd amount of damage, but, like, if we were
Yeah,
not
that's
dealing...
also an absurd amount of health.
Yeah, if we were not dealing an absurd amount of damage, that would take forever.
On top of this very long
Yes.
dungeon.
That's the cherry on top for this specific one, is, like, if you die on this one, you have to go the entire dungeon again. I can only imagine the only reason you wouldn't put the game down at this point is just because you've gotten so far already.
Yeah.
You freaking made him cry! At least he had company in here. Oh, there. Okay, well. At least he had company in here.
Yeah.
Skills like Stampede and Sap don't work. So stick.
Oof, the.
So stick to physical hits and stuff like quad hits and sword dances. Yeah. Yeah, he does sword stance, which you can randomly hit 4 times for 60 HP per strike. His normal attacks hit for around 70 HP, while he can charge you for 100 HP. Ooh.
Yeah. Sir.
Oh, you've made it back. Did you beat the monsters? Some of them. I wish I could give you something else, but I can't with the room in this state. Oh my god, dude. We were literally gone for like an hour. Some developer was like placing these things and be like, I'll put one off screen. Okay, this is, I agree with the guide. If you want to ruin it, says that you wish to give you something else, but it cancels the rooms. Clean the room again for this lazy bastard by putting the trash in the garbage. Speak to him again to receive the wind hat. Why don't I want to meet her myself? Well, to be honest, I don't get along with her too well. She's too stubborn for me. Anyway. Use the orb. The halo orb.
Orb.
Ah.
We gotta climb the temple again, don't we?
Yep.
Or climb the tower.
Oh, yeah. The other temple, yeah. At least once we get into the... Nope. At least once we get to the temple, we don't have any monsters, so...
Mm-hmm.
And incredibly, the Num Slime went to the monster part.
What is that?
The Slimperer!
I assume that's probably a rare monster in this area.
Maybe? Charged your party. Did literally nothing.
Yeah.
I forgot the Rector had more HP. Did it do that? Can I go this way? Could I not get 20 encounters?
No, only encounters. No progression. Only Fighto.
Ow. That was a crit, by the way. I just want to point that out. That was a crit that would just happen. We took 30 damage from that.
It's like rolling a natural 20 and then rolling 2 1s on your damage die.
Don't do that to me. I already did that on Divine Smite once. I don't need to do it on a crit.
I am so baffled I crit on a fucking inflict wounds.
I find it really funny that you had to crit inflict wounds to hit me.
Yeah.
And I still only took half my HP. You tried really hard to hit me with inflict wounds. This was really funny.
I just figured that it's like, well, she's in melee range. It's like, I'm not going to pop Spirit Guardians yet. I'm like, she would probably want to hit you, like, hard and fast. However, I was rolling poorly. I was rolling within, like, the, around, like, high single digit, 10 area. So only having a +7, +8 to hit, yeah, it's not beating your AC. So unfortunately, with me not rolling a 15, it's like, well, I can't hit you.
Can't see it right now, but I'm smiling.
And I wasn't gonna, be mean and cheese and be like, oh yeah, I know what your AC is, so I'm going to just say a number that is equivalent to hit you. I'm like, no, I am spending a resource. If I hit you, cool. If I don't, well, tough luck.
That's also why I didn't say anything when you got a crit. And I was like, okay, well, that happens. Like, it sucks that it's on inflict wounds, but
not to mention you guys were going to be winning anyways, even if it did drop you. Because she didn't have a lot of health left.
Yeah.
Now, here's another thing. I did not change any of their health values at all. So whatever I set their health at the beginning of the fight, that includes Vakira's. That you guys did good. I think I am getting pretty good at balancing HP, like kind of on a whim.
Yeah, their HP didn't feel bad. It was just we were definitely spread out. I honestly, had you not reckless attacked, I was gonna act surge. But I couldn't pass that opportunity up.
But that's just it. Is he would, if Carnivore was good at playing, which I think by that point he probably would have understood, that being like, oh, I have 2 targets that are within range of me going into rage and me trying to spin and hit both of them. Yeah, like that's the play. And then, like, sure, I didn't reckless on the first attack, but I'm gonna reckless on the second one to make sure.
Yeah. Are you kidding me? Again?
But the ability I had on Agra that I made was specifically for her. So you can use your reaction on an attack that you can see that you're hit by. And you can spend a hit die, and also you have to be in rage to do this. I'll wait until the dialogue.
She's hiding her wing.
Oh. But you can spend your reaction and use a hit die. And you can reduce the damage of that attack by the roll of your hit die plus your con plus your strength. And if that damage is reduced to 0, any remaining damage that would have been reduced by any extra is gained as temporary hit points. However, you can only do this a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus.
How does that HP work?
So a roll of hit die for barbarians is a d12. So d12 plus strength plus con.
So you're saying if you roll over the number?
Yes. If you reduce the damage you are going to take to 0 and there's extra.
Okay.
So similar to monks deflect missiles, however, with a little bit more of a stricter resource and limit. Because of adding the extra, temporary hit point thing, which kind of seems, not like stupidly good, but it would be a benefit of because of that formula, you could probably easily reduce, some damage to 0. So then you're like, well, I use this resource and I rolled really well. That sucks.
Yeah.
So it's like I, have this extra 10 damage that I mitigated, and that's wasted. So, however, I did the common player thing of I didn't read all of the abilities, even though I made it. So I'm like, that could have saved her at least one hit. So I think it was kind of funny that Rydick was like, well, what the fuck? That's not how dust works. I'm like, yeah, it kind of is. I'm sorry you didn't think of it.
See, we did before, we just didn't think of it. We didn't think of that.
Barbaricia, is that you?
I'm tired. The wind spirit, aren't you? Yeah, that's me. Oh, so you're the ones that woke me up, jerks. Going to live in peace. I beg of you, please save this land. Save our world. That's bad news for you guys. What if I refuse? Would I be a bad girl then?
Oh, so you're one of those.
Please accept our wish. That's not what I meant. Right. I'll do it, but you've got to promise me one thing.
Fight me.
You'll give me a 5-year supply of cute guys. Say that one more time. 5 years worth of nothing but able-bodied, attractive men. I get tired of things pretty easily, especially men. If you can't promise me that, I'm sorry, but I can't do much for you. I'm not the only spirit around, you know? If you can't cut it with me, go ask one of the others. But the flame spirit told you to wake everyone up. Why didn't you tell me? There must be some kind of huge trouble. Oh, alright, I'll give you kids a hand. Looks like you could use this. The wind charm. That nun, by the way, is just like... To my help, use that amulet and I'll be at your service.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought.
I'm not reading that. Anyway. I just head over to Dharma Temple, right? I'll see you around. Goodbye.
Do we have our first summon?
Oh, she's into Gabo. I don't know how I feel about that. Hell, Gabo. Maybe he's 16? You know what? To make myself feel better about reading that dialogue with my eyeballs, we'll say he's 16.
Yeah.
That was a wind spirit, more like a tornado. Oh, I mean slut.
Ooh. Ooh, boy. Damn. Shots fired. Man, this game keeps getting better.
All right. That dialogue alone was worth the dungeon.
Yeah.
Hold on, I need to talk to you again. Oh man. That wasn't Maribel, that was Ira. That was Ira. Shots fired. Savannah's not with us. Unable to continue on with you. I can't express how much I appreciate everything you've done, and I want so dearly to see all the spirits with my own eye. I'm also the Pendragon of the Lavatory. Yep, we were gonna bring you back to the village. I need to pray here together with my people. Pray for your safety and for the return of peace. You never know where your adventures will take you, so please be careful. Can I do it now? Fine. Hi, guy, you're back. You weren't here earlier.
She had some errands.
Yeah, okay, that's right. Did the same thing again. This way. And then this way. That dialogue alone was worth that entire dungeon. Holy crap. Holy crap. I was not expecting that. Okay, so this guide keeps on giving. They used a special word to describe the brothers of Dune. One that I'm not gonna say on stream, but it starts with an R.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say it, but you know, if you know it, you know it. If you don't, you don't. Don't worry about it. It's also not the correct word. The correct word I would use is stupid. Because they legitimately... No, actually, maybe not stupid. Self-centered to an extreme.
Yeah.
Would be the way I would describe it. I'm trying to figure out if I want to keep going. Because here's the thing. Is what I could do is... So we have another dungeon for the Terror Spirit, which is whatever. We knew this. We knew everyone's gonna have a dungeon. We don't have a boss fight. Ah, man. Okay, well, that makes me a little upset. There's a chest with a mimic heart in it that we would get guaranteed, so that makes that drop way less special. But I guess that also makes sense that there would be a special place to get that, so you could have one of everything.
Yeah.
The dungeon, it's a puzzle, and then there's another. There's a whole bunch of other stuff in these next two sections, but if we go more, it'll be a while. We'll be going for a little bit longer yet. But at the end of these two sections is the final dungeon, which means we'll have an entire stream for the final dungeon.
Yeah.
And ending. What it also
But
lets
you have access to Dharma now, so you can do some grinding off stream.
I very much can. Honestly, okay, so what I think I'm gonna do is I'm starving. I'm very hungry. Within the last hour I've grown like just insatiably hungry. So what I think we do is we stop here for today. The next stream might be short. I don't know how long these next two sections are going to take. I can only get so much, but once we do, we have the Terra Spirit and the Aqua Spirit left. Once we free both of those, it basically is like you do one thing and then you can go straight to the final dungeon. We are not going to the final dungeon immediately. I'm going to grind and make sure everybody's ready. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to look up what the super bosses are and see kind of what we need. Because if we have the time, I want to go straight into the super boss. Because I think we're actually almost pretty ready, but I have zero idea. I have zero way of knowing this until I look it up. But I don't want to look it up yet, because we're not even done. With this being said, tomorrow we do plan on streaming. I want to say probably 5 o'clock Central Time is a pretty good bet.
Yeah.
Maybe a little earlier, maybe a little later. No more than 30 minutes. So keep your eyes peeled out for that. Let's see. I can send you guys over to Pi. Pi's pretty good. Pi's playing some Fall Guys for his Discord community event, a Pokemon game. Fun. So you guys have a great day. I'm gonna get some food. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully, we'll finish this week. I'm hoping we can finish Wednesday. If not, we'll see. It depends on how much grinding I gotta do. Take care, everyone. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.
Good night. Goodbye.